Hey guys, I'm RiggyRob, and welcome back to Elden Ring. So, last time we cleared off a lot of Caro's hidden grave. We found this site of grace called the Fissure, but it is blocked by Miquella's seal. So we'll have to come back to that later. We went all the way through the Cerulean coast. We haven't figured out how to get here yet. I assume it's something to do with being underground, but I'm not sure. There was a boss of Demi-Human Queen Mariga, or Mariga, depending on how you pronounce it. There was a Furnace Golem, which we have not figured out how to beat here because he can't attack his legs. And there were some other things as well. And yeah, so we said we were going to go and do Jagged Peak, and we just kind of didn't. In the meantime, I did do a little bit of re-exploring, and I found a couple of good items. So the first one is this, St. Trina's Disciples Cookbook for an Eternal Sleep Pot. That's kind of whatever. More interesting is Rings of Spectral Light. So it's a sorcery practiced by the Keepers of the Spirit Graves where all deaths ultimately drifts. Creates rings of spectral light that fire in unison, charging enhances potency. The Rings of Light have the same qualities as Ghost Flame and deal magic damage while also causing frost buildup. So a spell that can do two things at once, it's kind of like Ranni's Dark Moon, is quite good. And the range in it is actually not too bad. The damage output is a little bit low, but then the FP cost is not that much either, so it's 14 FP for it, so... I assume we will find a better version of this, and that's the version that I'll probably consider keeping on. I do have it equipped at the moment. Oh, no, I don't. I have Watchful Spirit. So, I am currently wearing a Faith Talisman to get my Faith up to 26, at least. So I'm going to try casting this and seeing if it makes a difference to Hornsent. And talking to him or something like that. Because obviously, with the main game, you had to cast Law of Causality of Law of Regression to make, you know, the whole reveal of Marika is Radagon or Radagon is Marika actually happen. So I'm going to try this, and I'm trying to... Because what happens is it casts something above your head and then starts shooting things out. I'm going to have to, like, stand by the side of him, but not aim at him, as it were. So let's try this. Okay. And then talk. Oh, can I not talk? Oh, did I move too far? There we go. Okay, so yeah, nothing different there. Alright, fair enough. Let's try Rhia then. So we'll go here. It might even be Ansbach. I forget who I was planning to use this for. But yeah, it doesn't seem like that makes a difference to them. Okay, well, never mind then. I will do that later in my own time if I need to. But let's go ahead and put on Taker's cameo back on. So, we're going to go back to where we started, Cerulean Coast. And I'm going to kind of trace the steps I took to get the items. So mainly just St. Trina's cookbook, because the other one is a lot further away in the Spirit Graves where the Deathrite bird was. And yeah, it's just like, that's more out of the way. And I don't need to go in that kind of direction yet. I'm going to try following where I've put a beacon. Get the item that's there. I assume it's like a glove wart. And then, yeah, we'll go to the coast and see what happens. So I'll just put on the Spectral Rings of Light. I've taken off Night Maiden's Mist, because I don't really need Night Maiden's Mist on. It's not that useful for me, even though I think it's good. It's got good use cases for certain things. Specifically the magma worm that we kind of cheesed a little bit. But yeah, so let's see. So yeah, this is where we picked up the cookbook, and this is where we're heading to. So number 2. So yeah, just as a note as well, we're about 3 weeks after the release of the DLC. And unfortunately, I think I have seen what I'm assuming is the final boss of the DLC. Because, as usual, people cannot help themselves. It's one of those things where I tried opening... Oh, am I dead? No, bit of damage, but... Yeah. I tried opening Twitter, mainly to check on the European football that was going on, see highlights of that and so on. And literally, the first thing I saw was someone had posted, like, some artwork, some fan art of a boss with a name. And I'd actually already seen the boss with a name, but I didn't, like, take much notice of it because it was like, well, okay, I mean, that makes sense, right? But I didn't think it was related to the DLC until someone else had posted the full name, as in title and then name, or name then title. I was like, Oh, that's what that means. And yeah, so the cookbook was here. So yeah, so unfortunately I think I know who the final boss is. But, you know, it doesn't matter too much. Part of the greatness of this game is the journey to get there, right? Yeah, Great Grave Glovewort is what I expected. Oh, I thought you were a crab. You're a spider hand. Like we saw in the Carian Manor. Okay, well we know how to deal with you. Fire. I do have Rikard's Rancor on. So yeah, let's skip. Let's go this side first, because there's also this. Oh, I don't think I've jumped on there actually. And what does this go? Is this just like the same path but slightly different? But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that like I get blasted with a spoiler for the DLC without having any chance of stopping, because it's not the kind of thing that you can, you know, put a mute on. Like, often people will say, oh yeah, just, you know, block the hashtag or block the names of the things. It's like, well, if you don't know the name of the thing, you can't put a block on it. And if people post it straight out with no sort of warning, then yeah, you're not going to be able to avoid it. Because the algorithm will push towards you things that are popular in your interests and in your area. It's like, oh, okay, well. But yeah, it's my fault for opening Twitter. And I said that Twitter was basically unusable. So, let's see. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, so I can get the item here. So yeah, spider hands. And this is another Great Grave Glove. Okay. Also to note, I have upgraded the Gravebird Ashes up to +9. Because I was like, well, we used Yosh, we used Andreas. Neither of them have been particularly outstanding in the sense of being a boss distraction. Like, we used them for the Ghost Flame Dragon and stuff like that. But, yeah, they were okay. It wasn't fantastic. So I figured I might as well try out the Gravebird Ashes just because they're slightly different. So, you don't like fire. And there's two of you as well. So they're kind of walking away. I have no idea if the Sword of Night Flame actually hit. Okay. So, the way they balance these enemies in Carian Manor was they usually gave you great stuff as drops, like somber smithing stone 7s. But they don't. Yeah, they are weak to fire. Okay, good. Well, I think that was actually in the later part of the game, in the Mountaintops of Giants. But, okay. Fair enough. So they're just wandering around. So yeah, so the goal for today is to actually get to Jagged Peak, because I know we didn't actually do that last time. We're kind of avoiding what the main, like, quest is supposed to be, which is, it seems like you're supposed to do Ballarat, then you're supposed to do the Tower Shadow message to follow later, and make it to the next castle along, which is basically, well, it's where I'm assuming that R'hllana, the Twin Moon Knight, is, because that would make sense, obviously. This is a bit dicey, because I don't like being on sand, because this is not a game series that is well known for being forgiving with drop-offs into death water. Okay, I see, yeah. Well, we'll not trigger the hands if we don't have to. I mean, the small ones are whatever, because they can die in a couple of hits, but yeah. Oh, I should put my lantern on. There we go. Okay, so... Oh, I can't check my map while I'm wandering around because the hands are following me. So yeah, but you know, it's like I said, part of the fun of this game is to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna wander in a particular direction. We went to Caelid very early in the main game, and that helped out a lot with things like the Meteorite Staff, and the spells, and the Rocksling, and so on, so... You know, it's, everyone's experience of the DLC can be slightly different depending on which direction you go, and where, and why. So, yeah. Grave Gloveworts. Aha! A Site of Grace. Finger Ruins of Rhia. I see. So in terms of where we are... Oh, they are actual fingers on the map. I see. Okay. Alright, so we kind of traced the coastline. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that you can actually totally tell that that's a giant dead dragon on the map. Just kind of blended in, to be fair. Alright. And yeah, I'm still using this because it's the best torch for visibility. Well, I say visibility. Brightness, technically. Some places it's actually less visible because glowing yellow is a bit harder to see through than the red. Oh, there's lots of you guys. Okay. Alright. Yeah, 2 hits. But as ever, Taker's cameo means that you can kind of work the way through these guys. But they do damage while they're scrabbling along. Part of the problem. Whoop. Ah, you. It's always difficult to tell when an enemy's movement is going to hit. Oh, I got my flask out. I suppose it's still technically open world, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, Finger Ruins of Rhia. Trying to think. Oh, hello. You're different. Huh. You look like an albinoric snake. Pearlescent scale. Right, let's just hide behind here for a minute. Found by hunting lamprey. A glassy, glistening fragment of pearlescent hue. Found by hunting lamprey. These retrograded scales are found embedded deep within the skin of lamprey. Okay, lamprey. Alright, so what's the plan? I guess it's keep height. It's the old rule of hiking of keep your elevation as much as you can, because it takes a lot longer to go up and down than it does to stay on the same level. But of course, that doesn't necessarily work when you're riding a spirit horse. I would like to explore this. I have a feeling that probably not actually that much here, but we'll see. Just to make sure I'm not getting jumped by the big one. Oh, whoa, what is it? Oh, yeah, yeah. Hello. Not another one? Okay. You went through the fire. Alright, 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 alright. I get it, I get it, I get it. Backing up, backing up. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that went through the shield. Okay. That's down to come back. No, thank you. There we go. Alright, let's get back. So yeah, 2 of them. Right, let's get Rikard's Rancor ready. Oh, right, okay. Not actually got hit yet. There we go. Alright, thank you. Oh, no, you're not rolling around. Oh, it's so slow. Dodge. Ooh, they fake you out. I'm dead. Oh, wow, I survived that. That was so lucky. Alright. Just need you to flay around a little bit. Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention as well is I did some testing with Onz's sword, the katana. It's actually better to show it off this way. So L3 sort by attack power. It's kind of disappointing. The Starline Sword at +10 does less damage than the Moon Veil at +9. And the reason for that is because the Moon Veil has B scaling with intelligence, whereas the Starline Sword has B scaling with dexterity. So, because my intelligence is so much better than my dexterity, that's why it's doing more damage with Moon Veil. But I was still kind of bummed out to see that. I was like, oh, right. I mean, it does more physical damage, but yeah, because of the intelligence scaling on the other weapons I have, it's not actually that good. So I feel a bit disappointed that I put a somber ancient dragon smithing stone on it, but I thought that, you know, the attack power would jump up to be comparable, but no, clearly not. So I imagine there'll probably be another cool weapon. Oh, hello. Examine remains. Oh, okay. It's a remembrance place. And it's a full remembrance place, because I can do Melania and Radon and... Interesting. Oh, but I have to remember which ones I actually want to duplicate. I don't remember. Alright, well. This is somewhere to come back to. No, it's this. So, I'll put a diamond on. Yeah, it's a remembrance rememberer, or a duplicator. I mean, not that there's actually been that many remembrances I've wanted to duplicate, but partly that is because I'm like, well, am I ever going to use the other version of it? One thing that has been sort of good, or at least was good, and has been nerfed since, I believe, is the Blasphemous Blade. So I've already used Rykard's thing for the Taker's cameo. So yeah, you're gonna hit. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, maybe Rykard's Remembrance would be a good one to have. And if that is a Remembrance duplicator, that's probably the main thing up here. Now I think about it. Yeah, I can't think there's... Like, I don't think there's going to be catacombs on the cave side. Especially because there's lots of spider hands that are going to be protecting those anyway. Yeah, I can't have the torch out. I would really like to have the torch out to sort of shine the light as I go on Torrent, but... well. But yeah, so... Blasphemous Blade is apparently very good. It's like the Sword of Knight of Flame in a way, in that you basically use it for the special skill, the L2. Because it does a big fire effect and knocks people down, but also has the Taker's cameo effect of being able to recover HP after killing an enemy. I think. Might be wrong about that. Okay. Yeah, that's my fault for not getting off the horse. Oh, these lampreys are disgusting. I mean, lampreys are disgusting in general. What are you doing? Yeah. But yeah, I guess we're heading down to the lower level. I might as well use a flask if I'm going to recover it by killing these guys. Just waiting for the fingers to start moving. But I guess in that case they wouldn't actually be ruins. Alright, 2, 3, 4. 4 at least. Alright, let's not go straight in the line of sight. Let's do the thing that I said probably isn't going to be a thing and check the walls. There's another one. Because I also have to make sure there's not any, like, secret openings. Check the map. Right, so this is going to be something. Maybe something else as well. It's very eerie as well. I forget if the spider hands were a specific thing to do with Caria Manor. Oh, that's terrible. One more. Come on, one more. There we go. Well, whatever they do, I have not yet found out. And hopefully it remains that way. Yeah, so still nothing on the outskirts so far, which is... Ah! So yeah, I've defaulted to the Sword of Night and Flame generally, just because it's a straight sword. Straight swords tend to have decent movesets for Nailstone. Decent movesets for the stamina cost, and I'm still working on getting the stamina up. Nailstone. A piece that came loose from the tip of one of the common-like stone fingers that grow at finger ruins. Oh, fingerprint engraving as well. That could be, fingerprint shield related? I mean, that's frenzy flame and not... Actually... They do kind of look like the three fingers in their texture. Right, off the horse. Oh, okay. I'm glad that worked. Yeah, 4,374 is not a huge amount. For how difficult they can be if you don't have fire. But we will keep skirting the outer edge. Because, yeah, those fingers are very tall. Yeah, they have kind of the same texture as the frenzy fingers. I mean, in the main game, are these eggs? They look like fossilized eggs. Oh yeah, they totally look like little fingers poking out. Finger mimic! Okay. Light pink mushroom resembling a wizened finger, exceedingly rare to find, used by those who wish to become fingers to induce hallucinations. They call these mushrooms the stillborn of the two fingers. Alright, yes, so... two fingers related stuff. In fact, lots of fingers related stuff. Yeah. Because so far, in my main game playthrough, those fingers are just communing with the greater will. And as Enya said, that could take thousands of years. So we weren't exactly going to wait around to hear what they had to say about it. Okay. Are they coming for me? Yeah. No? You're not coming? Alright. Thank you. Yeah, they're not dropping anything. So if they are supposed to be there to farm stuff, they're not particularly generous with their drop rates. Alright, so we've kind of done a full circle around the centerpiece. And I've not seen anything of note. Although, again, it is quite foggy. I suppose there's obviously going to be some areas that will have inclement weather no matter what. Mainly because it makes it harder for you as a player to gauge what's going on and how. Like the Fog Rift Catacombs and the area where that is makes it more difficult to find where the map piece is. Finger Mimic as well. Okay. So we're still under... Yeah, we're still under the ridge of Jagged Peak. So this is all technically unknown, because I can't see it from the bird's eye view of the map. But chances are, there's not anything particularly outrageous that I would miss. Okay. Alright, so we're heading kind of towards the site of grace again. Alright. Well, there wasn't anything around the center, which is good, because that's kind of why I... What are they casting? Because it's not the bouncing... Oh, interesting. It's not the bouncing spell that we saw in the catacombs. Okay, so they can't get staggered out of that. Wait. So that's where the Site of Grace is. So what's this? Ah, this is not on the map. Okay, so it is kind of on the map. It's a little bridge. Huh? Okay. I'm wondering if this is like an alternate way to get to the Finger Ruins, rather than via the coast. Oh, that's a little spider, dude. And that's the furnace golem that we've marked on the map with a... Alright, so yeah, kind of a different path to get here then. And that is death? I mean, there's a tree branch. And that's... Oh, that's a wing. Oh, I can't check the map, can I? Yeah, yeah. Right, so that's... So we're underneath the Site of Grace where the dragon is. Okay. Right. On the assumption that there isn't anything... Hang on, you're slightly different. Do you just have more runes? Okay, yeah. Understood. Okay. Fence. Ah. Yeah, this is not on the map. Or at least it can't be seen because it's being covered by the dragon stuff. Shack. Fingerweaver's Hovel. Fingerweaver's Cookbook. Aha! My theory is proven true. The Finger Creepers hail from these ruins, so now I must sound this one hanging bell, and sweetly cradled shall I come to be, at the bosom of the exalted mother. Okay. So, this is your clue of what to do in this place. If we are to assume that there will in fact be a bell at the center of the Finger Ruins. I am curious about more, because this is underneath what we see on the map. Because there's also, like I said before, we haven't found any sealed spirit springs. Like, no suspicious piles of rocks. Like, this is not really a rock pile of that I would consider to be... Well, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, okay, so the note actually is... yeah, inventory, DLC stuff. Stack stones nearby. By toppling them, you may break the seal. Okay, so I'm assuming that's going to be more obvious as to when a spirit spring is sealed. So it will say, this spirit spring cannot be used, it is sealed. And then you start looking for the rocks.